look up their fathers by the pedigree.
What is that book for?
Pedigree.
So,
Yeah,
what's in numbers? You want it 18 or is it 18 and 1?
If you want to, 18.
Yeah, so it said, so we telling you all this, but check this out. Go ahead and read that.
Numbers
I
9
said
and
it to
18.
Israel. This is the way to determine.
And they assembled all of the congregation together on the first day of the second month. And they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names from 20 years old and upward by their polls.
So they, what is pedigree? No, that's your meaning. You look at your father to see what they do. So when you look at, where is your father from? So he was so-called black people? Yeah. Okay. So guess what? Your people, just like my people, just like these brothers' people, they came from Egypt. Guess what? We are Israelites. This young brother understands the word. Maybe he might be an Israelite, because it's not all based off of, it's based off of your forefather, but at the same time, he has understanding. His father might have, his father might be a so-called black man. You never know. Or it might run back in his lineage somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Well, this devil means what? So
Deceiver.
right. You know what I'm saying? And he did betray because his brother,
a liar. He's just a liar.
yeah,
Another word for a liar, like say he deceived the whole world.
yeah,
That's why he's the devil that the Bible speaks of.
right. The man of perdition. The perdition means destruction. And who's destroying the earth in these last days? Not us. We being led by our enemies. So let me tell you this. In Isaiah chapter 63, so because we telling you all these, things, we want you to have hope. So here it go right here. If you understand this word, if you're going to do what the Bible is telling you to do in these last days, it says, "Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Bosra?" Edom is Esau. Esau came out all red like a hairy garment. What nation of people is red? What nation of people have red skin?
Slap them, they turn red. They get mad, they turn red.
White.
Yeah. So you can see some of them, they just red already.
Yeah.
So look, it says, "Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Bosra? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save." So the only person that's mighty to save is Yahweh, who the world calls Jesus. Right? And he was depicted as a so-called black man. They said that he's going to have with dyed garments from Bosra, meaning that he's going to have blood all over his vest, all over his clothing. Okay, his raiment is going to be stained with blood because what? He's going to come to destroy. Okay, so that's what's going to be happening in these last days. Well, that's not really Jesus. Neither one of these are really Jesus, but that's a depiction alone. See, they took Caesar Borgia and they painted him. Okay, right there. That's Caesar Borgia.
Pope Alexander had in
So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are Israelites because of the curses that we went through and the things that we are suffering from the so-called white man. So-called white man is leading us in a way that is wrong, and has our people thinking evil, okay? We are Israelites that the Bible speaks of. Go ahead, brother. Sorry.
1490, Pope Alexander and an artist modeled a Jesus painting after his son, Caesar Borgia. Both father and son were extremely wicked. When you go into the actual history of the Borgias, you'll find out that's like one of the biggest crime families, really of all time. But definitely of that time period. When his son passed away, he was born, and he actually had an artist. I believe Michelangelo, famous artist, who actually painted the first image which you have, which they call Jesus, so-called Jesus Christ. It's not even his name. Anyway, his name is Howard
She was one of the black people.
Yeah, that's actually so-called blacks was in Australia as well. He was the Aboriginal. Okay. So it says that the only he said he's mighty to save. Speaking of righteousness, he's mighty to save. That's what we hasten for at that time, because that's when this kingdom will be translated to another. Okay, that's what's gonna happen in this time. But let's give you some light things right now, some things that's not too hard to understand. Go ahead.
Leviticus 19, verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him.
That's right. So, go ahead. Yeah.
Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am Yahweh.
See, now what I want you to understand is thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor, meaning that and not suffer sin upon him. So sin is the transgression of the law. When you break the law of the Most High, that's transgression of the law. In these last days, because we are under our oppressor, we have to start turning back to the law, statutes, and commandments. Everything that's in your power to do that the law says, then that's what we must be doing. We try to be diligent in doing these things. Okay? So, and it says, what did you want to get out of that, brother?
Read the end of it again from the slide. The children of thy people, the neighbor. Oh, that's what I want. The neighbor, synonymous with, like you say, love your neighbor as you love yourself, which was taught to us, in church.
Come hear the word, brother.
True out of the scriptures, Yahweh, but he's actually quoting that law right there. What I want you to see, which he said, "Who is your neighbor? The children of thy people." It's plain and clear in that verse right there.
Right,
you can read the end of it one more time.
Yeah.
Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am Yahweh. Your neighbor ain't just the white man or the Asian man or the African man. Hey, your neighbor is your fellow Israelite.
And
Okay.
the
One
brother,
of these people on these 12 tribes.
so the brother said, the African man, the reason being is because so-called
Well, come hear the truth, man. Come hear the truth.
so-called African man hates our people. Why? Because they the ones who had us in slavery. The Egyptians was always dark-skinned. Dark-skinned people.
They also hate us because there was a time when we were building the temple when they wanted to come and worship. And the Lord told us to tell them no. So think about when I'm having a barbecue. Everybody, my people invited. And you like, man, can I come to the barbecue? They were like, nah. You see what I'm saying? So the instant they had the opportunity to do what they did to us, they did. Because they knew who we were, they knew that we were chosen, and they wanted to serve our God.
And let me give you 1 John 3 and 4. 1 John chapter 3 verse 4 says, "Whosoever committeth sin transgresses also the law." It says, "For sin is the transgression of the law." So that's what sin is. In these last days, we're supposed to be very diligent. As I stated before, very diligent to follow the laws and commands of the Most High God. But since we got on this thing about so-called African man, I want to also bring you this. It says in Exodus chapter 1 verse 6, and Joseph died. Joseph was of the 12 sons of Jacob, okay, whose name was changed to Israel. And I'm saying that's what the Lord is for, only for Israel. So let's see what it says. It says, and Joseph died because he became great in Egypt. Remember, he was sold into slavery, and his family came in and followed, right? So that they grew in Egypt. So it says, and all his brethren and all that generation. So his brother and his generation died, but their children, their descendants were still there. It says, and the children of Israel were fruitful and increased abundantly and multiplied and waxed exceedingly mighty, and the land was filled with them. Now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. And he said unto his people, see there, separation, unto his people, right? Behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Now this is going into crafty counsel that these people who are over us, is they making decisions, right? This is going into a little bit of crafty counsel. And what they do in crafty counsel? Go ahead and read Psalms 8. You know what I'm on. Check this out, sis. Yeah. So, but I'm gonna let him bring that out. That crafty counsel against the people consulting against our enemies. Let me get that from you.
Psalms 83,
Because this is exactly what's going on at the moment.
verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against our people and consulted against our hidden ones. Mind you, we don't know who we are.
That's right.
So we're hidden ones.
That's right. Yeah, that's good right there.
They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation.
Ain't that what the Egyptians are doing to us right there? Okay. It's saying that right there. It says, and multiply and wax exceedingly mighty, and the land was filled with them. Now there rose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph, and he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. They always plot on us, and they always catch us off guard. You know, that's how it always happens to us. It says, come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it comes to pass that when they're falling out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land. So just like the so-called white man be driving and patrolling, they already say, man, you know what? If they got a whole bunch of proverbs, mean what? Wise sayings surrounding the so-called black man. Or they like the more lighter ones, they like chicken, or they like basketball, or they like to shoot some hoops. They say these little things, but also the things where they spend billions of dollars on security, right? Because what? They scared of the so-called black man gonna come in and rob this joint, this, that, and the other. They say what type of stores can go in what area as well. So these are all the crafty counsels, right? So this is the same thing that the so-called African man did to us when we were in slavery under them. The Ottoman Empire, we were in slavery under the Ottoman Empire. We was in slavery under, of course, the Roman Empire, which is ruling right now. Okay, this is still the Roman Empire. Okay, so these are the things. The reason we're bringing this out is there's something we can do in these last days, but we have to be wise. We have to be understanding. We have to put off the old man. Okay, somebody give me Ephesians chapter 5, verse 11. Well, my bad, brother. Go ahead. So this one here.
10 and 13. 10 and 12. And now, Yahshua, what does Yahweh, thy power, require of thee, but to fear Yahweh, and to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve Yahweh thy power with all thy heart, and with all thy soul.
So the way that you show love is to not suffer sin upon your neighbor, not suffer sin upon your brother. Okay, that's what you're supposed to do in these last days. Not suffer sin upon them, because what? Yahweh is going to require something more than what we've been doing this whole time. Go ahead on the top.
Ephesians chapter 5, starting at the top. Be ye therefore followers of Yahweh as dear children, and walk in love as Yahweh shall also have loved us.
That's why we call out to our brethren that don't understand that we are Israel. There's no separation, okay, when it comes to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, okay? Now, this brother could very well be Israel, okay, which is of the tribe of Issachar. And it said that's right, because that's the northern kingdom. And those are like our so-called Latino tribes, okay? Because they were killed off the land. They were destroyed, this, that, and the other. These things happened to the Mayans, the Aztecs, right? So that's what we're doing. We out here calling out to the people. So in Romans chapter 8, verse 5, it says, for they that are of the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are of the spirit mind the things of the spirit. So that's talking about the law. Because the law is our understanding, right? And also faith in Yahushua. In Revelation chapter 13, verse 10, the faith and patience of the saints. He that lead into captivity, the so-called white man led us into captivity. So he that lead into captivity must go into captivity. He who kill with the sword must be killed with the sword. So that's what's going to happen to our oppressors. And the end of that says, this is the faith and patience of the saints. So that's our faith and our patience. That we know the end of our oppressors. All right, that's what's going to happen to them. And, you know, it gets more bleak, but let's go ahead and do a few laws. So we're not supposed to mind the things of the flesh. So-called white men brought flesh and death, carnality. That's what we live in, and that's what we die in. That's what we've been dying up until the point where you hear the righteous speakings. Before, when you start hearing these righteous sayings, people, we're telling you to come this way, and you hearken to that. You're no longer dying to the carnal mind. You're not no longer dying to the things of the flesh, right? So that's what we're supposed to be doing, seeking the spirit. And go ahead and give her a love.
Or I'm gonna look at
Okay, brother.
Leviticus chapter 11, starting at 4. Nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them that chew the cud, or of them that divided the hoof, as the camel, because he cheweth the cud, but divided not the hoof, he is unclean to you. And the coney, because he cheweth the cud, but divided not the hoof, he is unclean to you. And the swine, though he divided the hoof, be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you. Of their flesh ye shall not eat, of their carcass ye shall not touch, they are unclean to you. All right? So that's telling you, pork, I'll leave that alone. Like, we got to be careful because, like you said, they take crafty counsel out of us. Like, people above us, the Jewish ones, the so-called Jews, the Jewish ones, they know who we are, right? They know exactly who we are. And they know, they may not be able to break the Bible down because the scriptures say that they can't, but they can confirm who we are in the Bible, and they can also confirm what the Bible says will keep us weak, if you want to use that term, right? What gives us our strength is us living perfectly, not living in sin. When we're not in sin, that's when the Father gives us His Spirit. That's when He dwells with us. That's when we're undefeated, right? So when they do things like put pork in stuff that you would never imagine pork would be in, you have to start looking, right? Like you would never think that gelatin has pork in it, or some pill, or toothpaste, or something.
You want to use. So like you, brother, you know what you want to use? You want to use Arm & Hammer. Arm & Hammer with the mint. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Taste to it. You know, that's a better thing for you, because what's happening is you're defiling your body. You're defiling the temple, and who dwells in the temple? The Spirit of the Most High. All right, Spirit and Yahweh Shai. You know, if somebody say, man, he's just like his daddy, then you got your father's spirit. If it's a certain man, or somebody said, hey, he's just like his daddy, I mean, he got his father's spirit in him. You know what I'm saying? He a smart dude. He's just like his dad. That means he got that spirit of education. Stuff. So we have the Spirit of the Most High, because we put off carnal things. Like you see what our friend is on. That's what you see us out here speaking. Yeah, that's why you see us speaking the truth. We have ribbon of blue. We out here doing what we're supposed to do in these last days, because we're being made purified by what? The curses. Understand? The curses still on us to this day, because we've been exercised with them. Go ahead, brother. And let me get sister this one too. She asked, brother said about the Jews. It says in Revelation chapter 2 verse 9. Now this is concerning the Jewish people that call themselves the Jews. It says, I know your works and your tribulation and your poverty. Now we are impoverished. This is Yahweh speaking to John, telling John to tell the people this. I know your works, your tribulation. I know what you're going through. He said, and I know your poverty. Who are the most poor people in this world today? So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Look at Venezuela. You know what I'm saying? Look at there's some people in Thailand that could be our people. It's people who are suffering these curses at a home. You know what I'm saying? So it's saying, I know your works, your tribulation, your poverty, but you are rich. Why are we rich? Because we have the riches that don't corrupt the way. We have understanding of His word. So it says, and I know the blasphemy. Okay, that's that's evil speaking. You saying evil things. You are of an evil way. You walk in an evil way. Say, I know the blasphemy of those who say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. Thus is why we have those things on their head, because these people have took our heritage. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead, brother.
Salakia,
go ahead
before you pull that. On this sign right here, the African Americans. What tribe do you see? All right. So mainly when you talk to these Jewish people, that's the tribe they're going to claim, right? They're going to claim Judah, right? So let me give you a scripture for that. Jeremiah 14:2. Judah mourneth, which means Judah is mourning. They're in mourning, which means they're not happy. They're not sad, right? And the gates thereof languish. That's again saying they're in struggle. They're struggling. They're not in a good place. they are black unto the ground, and cry of Jerusalem is gone. So gone up. Cry of Jerusalem is gone up. So that's telling you, clear as day, that they are black. Judah is a black people. You understand what I'm saying? So not the white people that the so-called white people that call themselves Jewish. He's fine.
Why did they make the word?
I can't tell you why they made the word, but I can tell you why they are racist against us.
So we'll say, go ahead and bring that out, brother. So here's going another law for you.
Leviticus chapter 19, verse 28. You shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any markings upon you.
So what you think that means? Okay, but if you get them removed, what's going to happen?
You'll be a nice person.
Marked as well. So leave it be. Turn over to righteousness.
Don't do it no more.
Probably
I
already
mean,
plan now.
I gotta,
but commit that unto the Most High. Right.
so you gotta confess that to him, confess that it was done in the first place, and then from there, turn and not do it anymore. That's one of the main things. That's one. Well, not the church. The word. You want to get back in the word. And then soon we'll have us brothers. We'll have sure days that we out here that you can come out here and you can come out here and fellowship with us. I mean that's the way it's supposed to be. So definitely like you want to make sure repentance is the key to return to the Most High. Right, so that's and in order to repent, we have to confess our sins. So a lot of people, they want to hide their sins, right? They want to act as if the Lord doesn't see them or doesn't see them or doesn't know. So we have to let Him know. Now, there are sins that we committed that we didn't know we committed or we didn't remember that we committed. So we state that in the prayer. Forgive me for my transgressions that I've done unknowingly and the transgressions that I may not remember I've committed. We want to make sure we acknowledge that we know we've been wrong, right? That's the first way to come back to the light. Let me give you one more, because I'm talking about repentance.
Shrimp? Did you bring that out?
Yeah, no, I didn't bring shrimp out yet. I was about to, but I wanted to give her something else about repentance real quick. I want to give you something as far as prayer goes. I want you to hear this. Because it's very important, because we tell people to repent, but if we don't teach them the correct way to repent, then they'll never ever be able to actually repent. So understanding that the Lord doesn't hear our prayers unless we fit these prerequisites. The prerequisites that he desires from us before we pray, right? So people see the Muslims do these things and they think, they're crazy, right? But in all reality, the Quran came from the Bible. So a lot of the things that they do in the Quran are maybe exaggerated more than what was in the Bible, but came from something that they read in the Bible. All right, so look, let me give you this. 1 Corinthians 11 and 1, and then I'm gonna read it down, and I'm gonna read it down to 6. I'm gonna start at 1, and I'm gonna read to 6. Be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Yahushua. Now I praise you, brethren, that ye remember me in all things, and keep the ordinances I delivered them to you. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Yahushua, and the head of every woman is the man, and the head of Yahushua is Yahweh.
Y'all don't take it
every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonoreth his head. But every woman that prayeth or prophesied with her head uncovered, dishonoreth her head. For that is even all in one, as if she were saving. So that's saying, when you pray or when you get in these scriptures, cover your head. That's you showing respect. If you have a husband, it will be to your husband. If you don't have a husband, it's just respect to Yahushua, who we call Jesus Christ. So we want to make sure we're showing him that respect. Without that respect, there's no way in the world that we'd be able to expect him to hear us. So I'll read it for you. But every woman that prayeth or prophesied with her head uncovered dishonoreth her head. For that is even all one, as if she were shaving. So it's saying pretty much, I'll read on because it explains it. For if a woman be not covered, let her also be shorn. But if she is shamed, but if it be a shame for a woman to be shorn or shaven, let her be covered. So if it ain't the same for you to walk around bald headed, your head needs to be covered. Alright?
Really?
So for the sisters, yes, the praying and prophesying. The reason why you see most sisters wear their head covered all the time, it's not a commandment to wear it all the time, but what it is you want to pray without season. You know what I'm saying? So if you're praying without season, it's like keep it on your head. You understand what I'm saying? Because you don't know when you're gonna pray. You don't know when you may need to pray for somebody. Right? You don't know when you may have to prove something through the scriptures. Oh no, I don't have my scarf. I can't do it. So that's why you see sisters keep their head covered. It's not a commandment to have to do it, but if you're praying without season, you want to do it.
So if I was a girl and I had cut my hair,
Yeah, I was gonna give her
so if
first thing about it.
if I was a girl and I cut my hair, do I have to wear it covered?
You're not supposed to cut the hair. Women that really
For men, we you know, some brothers they still edge their hair. Me, I don't. But you know, men shouldn't cut their hair. Women, yes, you can cut your hair. You can, you know, what they call it, cut the ears. You can do stuff like that. You know, you can braid your hair. You know, it's just you don't hold those things as the beauty of the woman. I mean, if the woman, yeah, you're gonna be beautiful, but it's meaning that you don't put that over the Lord. Okay, you don't put that like, you know, or don't walk man. You know, shame faces, modest apparel. Okay, and when since I bring up apparel, let me go ahead and give you this real quick. Well, no, get the brother, get this.
All right. So this is another prerequisite to our prayers, right? It's something that I did not know until I didn't know any of these until I came to the truth, but this is something I definitely had no idea of, right? All right. Yet, if they shall bethink themselves in the land whither they were carried captives. So, this is the land where we were carried captives, correct? Bethinking yourself means if all of a sudden you come to the truth and you're like, I need to bethink myself, I need to be better, I need, you know what I'm saying? In the land where you've been carried captive, you bethink yourself, I'm gonna read it. Yet if they bethink themselves in the land whither they be carried captives, and repent and make supplication unto thee in the land of them that carried them captive, saying, we have sinned, we have done perversely, we have committed wickedness, and so return unto thee with all their heart and all their soul in the land of their enemies, which led them away captive, and pray unto thee toward their land, which thou gavest unto their fathers, the city which thou hast chosen, and the house which I have built for thy name. So that's saying pray towards the Holy Land. The Holy Land is Israel, Jerusalem. So from here, the Holy Land is the east. So that means, so the two prerequisites I just gave you was covering your head, praying facing the east. So what I do is when I pray is I get my phone out, I look at the compass on my phone, it tells me which way is east, and I pray that way. So those things are very important. They don't teach you that in church because they don't know what the hell is going on. You know what I'm saying? But it's very important for us to know that. That's clear as day.
So to give you one more, so it says, let's go ahead and go back to the video. It says, Ephesians chapter 5, verse 3. But fornication and all uncleanness or covetousness, let it not be once named among you as becoming saints. Covetousness is something that you know is unlawful thing. Doing it unlawful and transgression of the law. That is sin. Transgress the law, break the law, right? So you're getting things unlawful, like black people want to be cops and stuff like that. Now it can be looked at in many ways, but when you go back to what it came from, there's nothing you can pull. Give me Job chapter 14, verse 2. So it says, put off uncleanness, okay, or covetousness, let it not be once named among you as we come and say. So don't, and another thing is to oppress your own people. You know, that's what you see happening in many different, there's covetousness in many ways that we try to keep to ourselves, power. This is not your rest. The scriptures say, rise ye and depart. Depart from what? The way of thinking of America, of Babylon great. Depart from these ways. So, covetousness is unlawful gain. Getting riches by sin, basically. You know what I'm saying? People who deal in the scripture. Churches. Like the brother brought out about the church, they don't know what's going on because they want money in it. That's what it's all for. It's for show. It's for vanity. Vanity is emptiness in the Hebrew. Okay.
So I don't check it out. So when they tithe,
because tithes actually come from we're not in church anymore. So therefore, we now offering. That's something different. You can offer to people of understanding, but as this, go ahead and bring that out, brother, for me.
14 and 2.
14 and 2. It said, can't bring anything clean out of something unclean.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
14 and 2. Job 14 and 2. He cometh forth like a flower and is cut down.
Hold on, brother. Is that bring anything clean out of something unclean? Or is that am I thinking about 4? Am I thinking about verse 4?
Oh yeah, kind. Who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean? Not one.
So-called white man came here and made us whores, made our women whores. So-called white man tell us that we can do all these different things that was never clean. Okay, it don't change. Okay, so that's what I'm saying about covenants. We're not supposed to be an unlawful gang in this world. It's another thing that you want to make sure you're not and oppressing your own people. Now, to give you one more law. It says in Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 5, the woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment, for all that do so are an abomination unto the Lord thy God. So, what do you see on the restroom stall? You see how you know that it's a woman's restroom?
Because it has a picture of a woman.
With what? How you know it's a woman?
With a little kid. And it has a dress on it.
With a skirt or a dress. So that if you see me in a dress, okay, if you see me in the dress, you'd be like,
How you doing, sis? Come in the truth.
it's true. If you see me in a dress, you'd be like, oh, you money, And if you see a woman in pants, we don't say that. But we do, we lust after it. Or if you're wearing pants, you're wearing something that pertains to a man and it looks like a man. It looks like, man, is that a dude? No, in Israel, that comes from the so-called white man. Again, something that has never been clean, right? It comes from Esau, okay? And that comes from something that's never been clean, and you can't bring anything, it has never been clean, you can't, unclean, you can't clean that up. So we got to get back to laws like that. So when women that have tight pants on, that causes brothers to do what? Lust after the woman, right? And like it says in Matthew, real quick, because Matthew chapter 5, let's see. Okay, so let me give you a law. It says, ye have heard that it was said by them of old time, thou shalt not kill, and whosoever shall kill shall be in danger of the judgment. But I say unto you that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment. So Yahushua, he brought more perspective on the laws and make us put our heart in it. Not just saying, well, I ain't do it. No, he put your heart in because he judged the hearts and minds of men. Okay, that's why it says in let me get Isaiah 55 and 7. So it's your heart more so now. Go ahead and read that, brother.
It's a lot. Isaiah 55, verse 7. Let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts.
Okay, so this is we're out here showing that you're coming up and hearing this word, and us being out here, that's broadcasting the Lord's mercy. Okay, so we're sin. You were in sin. We were in sin. Okay, so we're forsaking our thoughts, because that's where the doing of the law actually has more. You solidify it through your heart. That's where you solidify. You going according to the Most High, because He's judging your heart and your mind, right? So let me go ahead and take you here, because I was bringing out about women wearing tight pants and stuff. So it says, "We have heard." This is Matthew chapter 5, verse 27. "Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time, thou shalt not commit adultery, man with another man's wife." Okay, but I say unto you that whosoever looketh up on a woman to lust after her hath committed adultery with her already in his heart. See that? So the Lord judges the heart. See, it says that you committed adultery with her in your heart because you're lusting after her. Nobody can see, like, man, is he lusting after her?
Yeah.
No, that's that's done in your heart. So that, when that scripture say, forsake his thoughts, go ahead and finish that out. I think I cut you off.
Forsake his thoughts and let him return unto Yahweh.
So that's how you return to the Most High. And that's what Yahweh was doing in the Sermon on the Mount on Matthew chapter 5. He was returning them to the Lord because he was doing what? Circumcising their hearts. Okay? So that's how you follow these laws, statutes, and commandments, right? So
saying in prayer because all of us, man, this flesh is a hard thing to beat, right? So all of us have certain things that are harder for us than others. One person may be a liar, one person may be a fornicator, whatever it may be. Some of us have things that are harder for us to defeat than others. But the only way that we can actually defeat it is by staying in the spirit, meaning continuously being in the scriptures, continuously praying. You gotta pray, and you gotta, like, even myself, I tell myself all throughout the day, Satan, get thee behind me. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't say that, you'll see those spirits will come upon you. Right? So you gotta say, get thee behind me. You gotta pray, and you gotta ask the Lord to give you pleasing thoughts. You know, forsake your wicked thoughts and give me pleasing thoughts. Give me your spirit. You understand what I'm saying? Like continuously. And you'll notice from the beginning how much difference it makes. You'll start seeing, like, man, I really don't think the way I used to think anymore. Right? Because I was talking to my brother about that the other day. Like, you know, I work in the gym. Right? So I see women wearing nothing. All day long, right? And when I first started working in the gym, I wasn't solely in the truth. I've been working in the gym for 3 years. So, and I've been in the truth for a year now. So, when I used to work in the gym, I used to just be like, and I'd be like all the other brothers in the gym, like, man, we just saying all kind of wicked things, right? And I really wanted to get away from it even before I was in the truth, because I felt like it wasn't the best way for me to be. It always ends the wrong way when your mind is like that, right? So I couldn't get away from it though. I could not. I mean, like I still would be the same way until I started coming into the truth and I started learning. Like, you know, you have to meditate on this word. You have to pray. You have to remove those spirits out of your body. You have to forsake those spirits. And once I started forsaking those spirits, I started noticing I can walk around the gym, no matter what somebody have on. I'm just like, man, she needs to clothes. Like, that's more of where my mind goes. Like, you need to cover up, sis. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't go to like, ooh. It's more like, you need to cover up. You know,
shame almost.
Exactly. That's what the spirit will do.
That's right, man. No, I was saying that's right.
Oh, I thought, yeah.
You still? No,
I'm good. That's it. I just wanted to say that. 13 and 14.
But it's like in Romans chapter 13, verse 14. But put ye on Yahushua, and make not provision for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof.
The reason you want to explain that to us?
What the Yahushua?
Oh, what we call Yahushua?
Yahushua is who we ignorantly call Jesus Christ. I say
that's his name in the Hebrew.
That's his name in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Yahushua. Yahushua, which you know the story of Moses, you know, when he went to the burning bush, what did the burning bush tell Moses to go and tell the people what his name was? He said that I am. He said I am.
Yeah, okay.
So Moses wouldn't go to the people and say I am. Nah, he's gonna go and say he is. Okay. He is, because he's not gonna be putting that upon himself. Yeah. So when you say the Father's name, when you say the Son's name, you say the Father's name, which so-called Jesus Christ. He said that in the scriptures as well. When you what's that?
Some groups that's gonna call him a higher.
Okay. Yeah,
you know, meaning I am in Jewish tongue, you know, higher, you know. So it's real, it sounds kind of crazy, but the thing is, the letter J.
Yeah.
Was just invented, what, 600 to 400 years ago? So his name is not, you know what I mean?
Yeah. This is a 1611 King James Version Bible right here. It's not a letter J in this Bible at all. There was not a, when this, like I say, in 1611, there was no J. The letter J is the newest letter in the English language.
Okay.
Yeah, so when, like I say, when you look at that, so Jesus, so-called Jesus Christ, in that book, his name is I-E-S-U-S. There's no J, it's spelled with an I.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's just
further elaborating on what brother was just saying right here.
So another thing I want you to get from that, Romans 13 and 14, make no provisions for the flesh. How so? Because you see all the oppression that we're going through, then you see where all of it comes from. It comes from our enemies, and all of our teachings as well come from our enemies. We'll read through in Romans chapter 8, verse 1.
And that's where I always felt like that. I couldn't stop.
Say it. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying I always felt like that. You know, it's like some of the stuff is not
It's not upright. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's
a
the
lot,
spirit.
a lot,
That's
a lot of things that the things that the so-called white man pushes is actually detrimental to life, detrimental to us, which is Israel. The world was made for our sake, but it's detrimental to life. And somebody just pulled that Matthew 15 and 24 just because. So it says, therefore, is there now no condemnation to them that are in Mashiach Yahushua, Christ Jesus, who walk not after the flesh, but after the spirit. So you have to walk after the spirit. That's the law of God, and that's the law. So it says, for the law of the spirit, it says, for the law of the spirit of life is Yahushua. Let me read that over again. It says, for the law of the spirit of life in Christ Yahushua hath made me free from the law of sin and death. Okay, so the law of sin and death. Things that were, like I told you, you're not carnal mind anymore, you're mind, spiritual mind. Okay, what's going to happen to you is more so persecution from the wicked. Okay, they're going to kill you. You believe in Christ, you know, well, education court, you know, on your job and stuff like that. My people at my job know I ain't eating pork. So they have to hold still pork, you know, before they, you know, serve different foods. And I just don't eat what they eat anymore. But, you know, when you start telling people that you are the Most High, then what's going to happen? You're going to start trying to deal with your treacherously. Go ahead and bring that out. This is for Israel, okay?
Matthew 15, verse 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
That's what Yahushua said. He said, I'm not sent. He was sent here to suffer for our sins and die for us, right? But he said, I'm not sent, but to the lost sheep of the house of Israel, right? So he's only sent for Israel. I want to give you that as well, just some encouragement. That's the hope that we have. You know what I did? I didn't get a chance. They got there's a few in the car. Yeah, let me go grab some. So it also says, we're going to get you a flyer too. It says, for the law of the spirit, okay, so for what the law could not do. So basically, we were under the law. Israel was under a law when we were killed for what we did. Now us being in captivity, that's not happening. We're not suffering death by all people no more. Because let us do that. White man gonna be happy to put us in prison, right? So we're not in that. So Most High is gonna send His Son to die. I mean to you know, recompense us for the tribulation that we went through. I had y'all or something. We get 2 Thessalonians.
Another reason why we're not the time period where we're being subject to the judgments of the law, like you were saying, being put to death for the law, breaking the law or whatnot, because we also under a grace period through Yahushua, him going on the price, you know, on the cross, you know. So yeah, that's still, you know, grace is just time period.
Like people take grace and mean that they can do whatever they want to do. And grace never meant that. It never means that. Grace always means time period. If I can't pay my bill, and I call and I say, can you give me an extension until the 15th? They're giving me a grace period before they cut my lights off. It's the same thing. We have a grace period until Yahushua returns to get right. It doesn't mean that you like, I haven't died yet, so I'm gonna get right next year, right? Because we don't know
license to sin.
Yeah, exactly. We don't know when Yahushua returns. He can return tonight if he wanted to, right? And then what happens then? You've been living in sin. You're going to be destroyed with the heathen. Meanwhile, the righteous, they'll be beamed up in chariots. So when all the things that are going, all the haywire is going on, all the craziness is going on, and you've been living righteously, and people been looking at you crazy, because we deal with it with our own family.
Yeah.
Literally, when you change in this word, you're gonna deal with it with your own family. When you take it serious, you doing what's
Go to my
supposed
house.
What you mean?
Knock the doors,
So
ching-ching.
none of us brothers up here, we
Now
don't
you can't come
celebrate
in.
any holiday.
Knock
Right?
the
Remember that.
doors.
Jeremiah
10 and 1.
10 and 1.
So I literally just, they know I literally got into it with my mom. We're not even speaking right now. Over Mother's Day. How serious is that? How is that?
That's every day.
But that's exactly, and that's the reason. And that's
Honor your mother and your father. That's in the law.
Exactly.
That's the law. Is that? That's what I.
Yeah.
Come on, right back where we need to be.
What do you need a specific day for us to go sit down for?
Yeah,
When you know I love you every single day. Right?
Yeah.
So, 2 Thessalonians 1, 2 Thessalonians verse 6.
Okay.
On the back of those pages, we have both our YouTube channels. Subscribe to both of those YouTube channels. We put on a lot of information and videos. Second Thessalonians though, verse 6. Seeing it is a righteous thing with Yahweh to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you.
You see that? It's a righteous thing to recompense tribulation, which is hard times, hard things, you know, some type of curse, okay, if you will, because that's the curse that was on us. So to recompense tribulation to them that trouble us, okay, and go ahead. So these are the tribulations that happen to us, right? These are the things that happen to us. So go ahead.
And to you who are troubled, rest with us when Yahweh shall be revealed from heaven with his mighty angels.
Okay, so when Yahweh is revealed with his mighty angels, that's when we're going to get our recompense. Okay, that's when we get our rest. So there's Paul saying, rest with us when Yahweh returns, is revealed with his mighty angels, executing judgment and vengeance. Okay, 94 and 1, Psalms 94 and 1. So that's what's going to be happening in these last days. So you're supposed to be putting off all things of the flesh. Don't make any provisions for the flesh. And the Lord said, my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Really meaning it's about that heart thing. Going back to your heart. What is it? You know, like when Christ asked Peter, what do men say that I am? You see what I mean? Or, Peter, you love me more than these? Feed my sheep, feed my sheep, feed my sheep. He asked him that question 3 times, and Peter asked him, answered him 3 times. Yes, I love you. Yes, I love you. Well, feed my sheep. All right? That's where your heart is supposed to be. Not in the riches and the things of this earth. But what? And riches that cannot be corrupted. When Yahweh brings dominion here. People that don't listen to this word, we're not going to have many numbers. We're not going to have many people that understand. Because what? You know, 2/3 going to burn. 1/3 going to make it, okay? Broad is the way that leads to destruction. Enter ye in at the straight gate. That's what we asking you to, that's what we hearken it, or what are you saying? Beseeching you to do in these last days, okay? Hearken to righteousness, turn to righteousness, turn to the things of the Spirit, okay? So those laws that we gave you, you know, let that get you. What I
94.
Yes.
What verse? For the 1. Oh, Yahweh, thou power, to whom vengeance belongeth. Oh, Yahweh, to whom vengeance belongeth, show thyself. Lift up thyself, thou judge the earth. Render a reward to the proud. Lord, how long shall the wicked triumph?
That's what our prayers should. That's what our prayers are supposed to have in them. Okay, we're supposed to be seeking that the Lord come back and do judgment in these last days. Oh, that's what we want in these last days. Judgment. Okay, because our enemies are leading over us, telling us, you know, directing our people in a way that's not right. So that's where you see the difference, okay, in us versus the church. Because the church are not reading scriptures like that. The church don't look for things like that because they too busy getting paid by their oppressors, okay? 1 Corinthians 3 and 3. Well, this is what we want you to do. You know, we want you to, we're trying to do a diligent, you know, work right now, hoping that, what's your name, sis? Normandy. Hoping that Normandy will return and do what is right. You already had it in your heart to do it because you understood. You know how many people fight against this understanding? I can't eat shrimp. I can't eat pork. I can't, I can't wear pants. Yes, you dress modestly, okay? Because when you dress like that, you're gonna get a man that's understanding. You don't get a man that's looking at you like, man, I want it. That those types of things are known among our people. You know what I'm saying? So what we're supposed to be doing, and it's a sin for men to be of a feminine nature. Okay, basically, in your doings, you know what I'm saying? It's not all, is he dressing like a woman? It's also come on how you think. We make ourselves men because we're putting everything on the line. Us brothers, we got jobs and families. For a so-called white man, we put these things on tape, just like on YouTube, just like many of the other brothers. Everybody can see it. Yeah. Okay? And Yahushua said, I've ever taught in the synagogue where the Jews reside. And he didn't hide himself. He didn't hide in the church. So that's the difference between us and the church. So you can just understand it from the channels that we gave you, but like places that we had the opportunity of hearing our teachers. It's all through YouTube, man.
Once you start following us, if you start following us on YouTube, a lot of other Israelite camps will start popping up, and suggestions start popping up as well. At the same time, you got to be wary about the information that's out there, right? Yeah. Because what'll happen, YouTube is owned by the same people who crack the council. Yeah. So what'll happen is it'll really recognize this person is really looking into some stuff that's pretty heavy, and they'll start actually recommending things of people that are trying to tell you things you're learning are lies. You see what I'm saying? And if you're not strong in the spirit, it'll confuse you. Yeah. It'll make you like, well, I knew that was right. Nah, and this other person, which is usually one of our people, it's usually they find other black people to do that, other so-called black people to do that. Yeah. And you'll find them say, well, I'm debunking this Israelite tribe. I'm doing this and that. And that's fake because in the scripture it tells us that we can never do that to each other. Yeah. Right? Now, we can rebuke our brother if they're doing sin. Yeah. But to go on there and just say, oh, this person's a liar, a false prophet, this, that, and the other, you have no scripture to back that up. As a whole. So you got to be careful. Once you start coming to the truth, you got to be very careful of the information that you take in.
That's right. And get that right there.
1 Corinthians 10.
That was going right into what he was saying.
Mm-hmm. And our brethren could not speak unto you as my bad. Yeah. For ye are yet carnal. For whereas there is among you envying and strife and divisions, are ye not carnal and walk as men?
So that's another thing that's going on in that church too. That's why you got to come up out of that church. Brothers that's getting you to see these curses, what's going to end up happening is when you look at John chapter 10 verse 27, it says, my sheep hear my voice and I know them and they follow me, and I give unto them eternal life. They shall never perish, neither shall any man pluck them out of my hand. So you're going to hear it. Because we lining you up with, you can never go wrong when you look at these curses and be like, that resides in you. I'm going through this, my forefathers are going through this, and my soul cries for that. I want the Most High to come and execute them. That's what you stay focused on. You stay focused on that, ain't no falling out of the truth. Because what? You're going to, there's many brothers that fell out of this understanding. Okay? Some of them got weary because they wanted Yahushua to come back. Like, how? Some of them, they couldn't keep it off because of what? The cares of this world.
Gift destroys the heart.
That's right. And gift destroys the heart. That's another one. What's that? 501c3? 501c3?
Yeah.
That's a lot of different churches and a lot of other brethren. We're going to keep it like that. A lot of different brethren have followed into those things, have fell into that type of 501c3. Explain, bro.
It's a non-profit organization contract that you enter into with the government. It's by most of your churches on any corner you fit. They 9 times out of 10 have a 501c3. In that 501c3, they basically, the government tells them what they can and what they can't teach, what they can and can't bring out. Yeah, so they basically dictate the doctrines coming up out of these churches.
That's why they can't say. Some of these pastors, don't get me wrong, they went to theology school and they learned from the white man. So the white man never taught them the truth.
So brother, in other words, you're saying that they heart don't really reside with what they is that they teach them, right? They didn't grow up in that. They fell out of it because they wanted to get the gift. They wanted to get the tithes and all. I'm gonna get tithes. You know, people have to pay me, and they make their whole doctrine about just paying tithes and offerings.
You also gotta look at that. Like, so why do I need to be a master's or a PhD in theology to teach the word in your house?
Yeah.
Like what does that mention? The reason why they do that though is because the higher your education level is, the more you're paid to do a sermon.
Oh, okay.
So pastors get paid to travel. That's why you see them. He made the dude from Harvest Time, whatever his name is, right up here the street. He may be at Harvest Time 6 months out the year, but he's gonna have 2 or 3 months where he's everywhere else.
Okay.
So he's making money at Harvest Time, but you better believe if he shows to New Light, which is right down the street, another mega church in the hood. It's crazy, right? We got 2 of them. Yeah. 2 miles apart in this very hood where everybody out here struggling. Yeah. And you got 2 of the biggest churches in Houston. Yeah. 3-4 miles apart, right? Yeah. So same thing. Like, how you think he's helicoptering there back and forth and all this nonsense? He gets paid more because he has that doctrinal degree. So the white people will give him more money to set up a church in his hood to continue to lie to his people.
Right? And look, I heard the brother saying, like, your family, I heard him when I was coming back saying that your family gonna turn against you and stuff like that. I can get Isaiah 59 and 15. It says right here, Ecclesiastes is in the book of the Apocrypha. They separated from the Bible, King James. Again, the brother gonna show you.
In the original King James 16:11, where I saw you didn't have 11 days, it has the Apocrypha included in it. Apocrypha, that's Ecclesiastes right here.
Ecclesiastes 22 verse 13. So it's all in the same book. It looked better when it's coming from the same book.
22 and 1?
22 and 13.
It is 21.
Yes, sir.
Talk not much with a fool, and go not to him that have no understanding.
So you have understanding. That's why we sit here talking to you for so long, and it does our hearts some good. And to be honest, when we leave here, we love when we get people that hear this word, because that's, the Lord is the angels are rejoicing in heaven. Okay, because we know that this word residing with you. So it says talk not much with the fool. So this is something that we're giving you when you go on your journey with this understanding. A lot of people are going to be like, I ain't with that, I'm with this stuff. Because what? They made lies in refuge, meaning that they trust in the system, okay, of lies, built by lies. They're going to be wiped off this land. That's what the Hawashah's going to do. Okay, he's going to make a full end of them. Okay, this is where the Edomites dwell, so-called white people. This is their system. This is most times when we go to Charles Brown, you're not going to be able to cut no check. That's what they want. That's what the church will give you, that impression that it's going to come down here and give everybody jobs and going to be chilling somewhere. That's not what's going to happen. It's going to destroy this world. Okay, go ahead, brother.
Beware of him lest thou have trouble, and thou shalt never be defiled. With his fooleries depart from him, and thou shalt find rest, and never be disquieted with madness.
Never be disquieted with madness, because they have pissed off. Yeah. And it says with their fooleries, because they believe this is, like I said before, it has not profited them. Us. You understand? Okay. Go ahead.
Isaiah 59 and 15.
Okay.
Yea, truth faileth, and he be that departed from evil maketh himself a prey.
So she be that departed from evil maketh herself a prey. You're going to depart from evil after hearing this, right? Unless you let the world overtake your mind, the things that have been sold in your heart just this day. But you're going to depart from this wickedness, and what is it is going to happen to you?
Departed from the evil maketh himself or herself a prey.
So you making yourself a prey to who? The powers that be. Because we wrestle not against flesh and blood, against principalities and evil in dark places. So that's darknesses of this kingdom. These people, that's all they dwell on is darknesses. They do all types of witchcraft and voodoo and bewitching and enchantments. And that's through what? Television. That's through the our entertainment, all-star hip-hop. That stuff leads our people. And it leads us in the wrong way, a way that leads to death. Okay, so-called black man takes up crack. Everybody gets put in jail and killed in the street, and that's the contention that everybody have against us. Oh, they probably doing some crack. That's the evil suspicion that they have against us. And what the scripture say about evil suspicions? Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 24. So there's evil suspicions. Okay. surrounding the things that are right. That's why his righteousness, the things that are easily understood is obscured because of all the evil that's being allowed to go on. And I can get Job 9 and 24.
3 and 4.
3 and 24.
Ecclesiastes 3, chapter 24. For many are deceived by their own vain opinion, and an evil suspicion have overthrown their judgment.
So evil suspicion have overthrown their judgment. Nah, this sister, she's just trying to get money, and she's just trying to tell me about that because she want me to be under a man. She's just telling me about that because she want me to seem weak out here. Okay? That's what they trying to tell you when you leave from telling. That's what a lot of people hear.
It's like more in the Christian sense. This is the thing that the Christians love to say. But that's just putting us in bondage. I can't eat pork. That's putting us in. I can't do anything on the Sabbath. That's putting us in bondage. That's we're supposed to be free. The Lord came so we can be free. Find that scripture. It ain't in there. It ain't in there. All right, Job 9 and 24. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?
So he covered the faces of the judges right there. We are the judge. The Lord is the judge of the earth, the chief judge. But we are the judges of the earth. They painted also the prophets, okay, Moses, of a so-called white man, okay, through TV and on their paintings and stuff, okay. So that's iconoclasm. That's right, brother. Tell me what iconoclasm is.
That's what I was talking to you about over there with Caesar Borges and
that's where
Michelangelo, whatever.
That's the beginning of Stockholm syndrome. Right? That's how Stockholm syndrome. That's how they made us respect and fear the white man from the very beginning. So-called white man.
Even the poorest of them, though.
Exactly.
You know, because Christ is depicted as a poor, humble man, and that's why we can look at the trust in the poor of them. Because we go to them, we need, they need, we need. You know, what is that? Never trust our enemy. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 10. And the so-called white man has proven to be our enemy. No brother can only do a little bit to you. As much as you allow it. The so-called white man gonna hurt you through your wages. He's gonna hurt you. Who's in control of the inflation? Basically, you go in the store and you see milk and jumped up $2 and stuff. So-called white man. Then you gonna look at how they gonna tell you, oh, y'all be careful, the ozone, it's gonna be really dirty air tomorrow. Yeah, y'all know that because y'all making a bunch of, they leading us in a way that's not right. You know what I'm saying, sis? They leading us in a way that's not right. They the one doing all the evil around the earth. What did the animal do to them for them to kill them with great violence to where there's none of them left? The dodo bird, what else?
Buffalo.
The rhinos, the buffalo. That's a huge one.
Tiger.
Look that up. Why did they kill the buffalo? They killed the buffalo to cut off the Indian, the so-called Indian and black man that was in this land, the indigenous people of this land. They killed those buffalo so that what? They didn't have any food, provision of no clothing, no food, because they ate the meat of the buffalo, organic by the way. They ate the meat of the buffalo. They used the fur, the pelt of the buffalo for clothing. And what the Trail of Tears, they went in a bunch of they went through the Indians went through the Trail of Tears. It was cold. Okay, they had those blankets with smallpox on them. Okay, all these different things that these Indians suffered, but that's one of the main points. They killed a bunch of animals. What nation of people are doing that? And what does it say about Esau? It said he's a cunning hunter. Give me that Genesis chapter 25, verse 27. Go ahead, brother. Give me that never trust our enemy. So-called white man is our enemy. 25, verse 27.
14.
Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusted.
Call that scripture.
This is Ecclesiastes 12, chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his
brother,
wicked.
Come hear the truth. Wait. So as an iron rusted, so is his wickedness. And it can never be wiped away, right? Verse 11.
Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away.
So that is where our judgment is overthrown. Our evil suspicion of one another is overthrown because the so-called white man walk around here with a smile and some words like butter, confusing our people, speaking blasphemy, but at the same time it sounds rude. What the things that the so-called white man says sounds good. Oh, he's gonna help me. Like it say in Ecclesiastes chapter 13, he's gonna say, what one is that? What you need? You know? And that's how he did his loophole. You owe me this, that, and the other. And they turn it up on you. You owe me 24% of that. That's what they do when we borrow from them and their credit cards. They give us this big old APR rate, interest rate. You see what I'm saying? These are all the things that we have to watch out for.
That's actually law, sister. We're not supposed to enter into usury agreements, credit cards, and we're not supposed to enter into anything that somebody can put interest on us because you make yourself. Yeah, exactly. You're putting yourself in bondage. Exactly. If you have understanding. Yeah.
See, wisdom is preventing you from walking away. Okay, as it says in Wisdom of Solomon. Chapter 6, it's preventing you from going in a way that's not wrong hereafter. If you walk righteous, like it's preventing many of the brethren that we've seen, who we were inspired by, but we most at the first we inspired by the Most High. We have the mind to understand. What he say? My sheep know my voice, right? My sheep know my voice, and the stranger he will not follow. So that's what will keep you. Okay, that's what will keep you. All right. So, what you holding in?
Genesis.
Okay. Esau. This is about Esau, the so-called white man. Okay.
Matter of fact, because you made a point about Esau being evil, so I'm gonna read it down.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, you get all the way down to 30.
Yeah. Genesis 25, verse 27. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field.
You know what? Go ahead and start 25. I don't want to.
Right.
Don't let me shortchange you. Right. I don't want to shortchange you.
Genesis 25 and 25. And the first came out red, all over, like a hairy garment.
Now this is the wife of Isaac. Her name is Rebecca. She had twins in her womb. All right. Now it's telling you about the birth. Right. She asked the Lord, if this was a blessing, why are you making me? Why you made me thus? Basically, the two was warring in the womb, and he told her what?
Two twins were in the womb, and
go back up a little bit.
One be stronger than the other.
Yeah.
All right.
Tell her. Two nations.
Two nations. I wasn't gonna. All right. So I'm gonna start at 23. And Yahweh said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger.
Okay, so what happens when your son has more kids, right? And then say he has 1 son, and that son has 5 sons, and those sons had even more sons. So that means his dad's lineage is going on and on and on. So after a while, he's gonna become many, right? And then what's gonna happen? It's gonna be a whole nation of people. So back in these days, men had many wives.
Okay.
So, but the father is the only one that matters.
Yeah.
Woman carries the baby. Okay. So 2 nations are gonna be in their womb. Did they have 350,000 people in her womb? No. She only had those 2 men. To see 2 progenitors. That's a perfect, easy way to say it. Progenitor, the beginning of a race. So go ahead, brother.
And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red, all over, like a hairy garment. And they called his name Esau.
So he was red all over like a hairy garment. I mean, his skin was red upon him. And his blood, that means his blood so so what does Esau mean? Wasted away his heat. Because he had no melanin.
Okay.
Say that again?
It's Sheshua.
That's right.
Okay.
All right. Also, you notice, Esau came out first.
Yeah.
And he told you that the older will serve the younger. So that means Jacob comes out second.
And that goes back to the patient and faith of the saints. He that leadeth to captivity shall go into captivity.
For time.
Hey, you like that, huh?
For
Hey, she
Esau
like
is the
that.
end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of he that followeth after.
Yeah.
So also, if you also realize, like they're only giving you a description of Esau, right? They're not describing Jacob, because Jacob looks like every other baby that was born. So there's no need to describe it. So you describe Esau because nobody looked like Esau at this point.
Yeah.
All right. And after that, his brother came out. His hand took hold of Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob.
So Jacob was basically like, I'm not done with you. Get back down here. You got food, right? So go ahead.
And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. And the boys grew. And Esau was a cunning hunter and a man in the field. What do the so-called white man really do?
And I was just bringing that out. Hunting, killing animals, killing even the brethren. That's what he did to the Aborigines.
Have you ever heard this term?
You know, he did it to us.
Killing for sport.
Game.
Yeah.
What's called game.
Killing for sport. We don't do that. We kill for necessity.
Yeah.
So that's what the so-called white men do. And we care for our beasts. That's Proverbs 12 and 11, I believe. Or 12 and 20. But go ahead, bro.
And Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in the tents. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob.
So he ate his venison, he ate the deer that he caught, the deer that he, so the so-called white man is a cunning hunter. That's what he does. Go ahead, bro, keep going.
And Jacob sawed pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that the same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom.
So that's why his name is called Edom. And what did it say in Isaiah 63? I want to give that Isaiah 63 one more time.
Oh, you gonna bring it out about the pottage?
Yeah. Well, no. Nah. Oh, look, let me tell you this. So the brother said something about hunting, about them having to hunt. It says, he said that when we hunt, we do it for necessity. Here go in Proverbs chapter 12, verse 10. It says that righteous man regardeth the life of his beast, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. That's why he's killing everything. You know, he even hunted us like that. He hunted the Indians into slavery and into the ground. Just hunted them and killed them. All right.
Hold on. Can I elaborate on that? What you said, his tender,
he said, but his tender mercies, but it says, but the tender mercies of the wicked, which is the so-called white man, are cruel.
His tender mercies are cruel.
Yeah.
I don't even need to explain much on his tender mercies are cruel.
I mean, like, oh yeah, we doing you a favor. We about to pay you $15 an hour. Like, man, you know how much it costs to live out here, and you putting putting them burdens of the holidays on me. You know what I'm saying? I gotta show up for Mother's Day, I gotta show up for birthdays, everybody's birthday, I gotta do all it. And then on top of that, I can get laid off in a second. Well, we'll be alright until, man, see, that's how they live. You know what I mean?
Isaiah 63.
So this is what happened.
Who is it that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This is that glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore thou art red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine vat.
That's right. Okay. You even say
now he's stomping the vineyards in the wine. Yeah. Saying it's gonna be full, there's gonna be blood all over his garments, like he was stomping in the vineyard of wine.
That's right. So that's what it's about. We won't keep it to our we got the kids out here.
And make sure you subscribe to the channel and you read over that flyer. It's a very educational flyer. It goes from understanding, that we were forced into Africa. We came here, we were forced into Africa, and it goes on to explain the curses of why these things happen. We go through specifically of every curse. And at the end, we also put down there Jeremiah 17:4. That's the scripture where basically the Lord is letting us know in the book that that Israel was inheritance. They won't know who they are. So make sure you look over that flyer and subscribe to the YouTube channel.
I will. And
He is, this is Proverbs chapter 10, verse 17. He is in the way. This is, no, let me give you this. The laborer, this is verse 16. The labor of the righteous tended to life. The fruit of the wicked to sin. See there? It says, he is in the way of life that keepeth instruction. But he that refuses reproof, refuses reproof, erreth. Meaning error. You make a mistake. It says, he that hideth hatred with lying lips. So-called white man hides hatred with lying lips. Okay? They speak wickedly concerning our oppression. They speak loftily concerning our oppression. All right? And it says that his voice walketh through the earth. So it says, and he that uttereth a slander is a fool. So you be in the way, sis. You be what you receive today. You take that and learn from it. Everybody that speaks against this understanding, this is what they are, fools. They don't understand. They hate. They don't even have the spirit. They don't have the spirit of the Most High. Just running and jumping around. You know what you've seen in church. People just jumping around, fooling. You know what I mean? That's not what the word is. What's the scripture say? These words that I speak unto you are spirit and is life. That's what Yahweh shall say.
In a mass church, in a mass church, the words truly coming out, and you will see spirits coming out, but it won't be like that. Like, so when we're out here on the streets, we see it all the time. We're out here on the streets. Right now, there's not many numbers out here, but we're out here on the streets and we're bringing the word out. The sower soweth the seed. What comes in there after? You know, the Satan coming right after.
The so-called white man coming trying to steal it, or somebody who thinks profane like Esau.
Exactly. So if the pastors were really in church, these mega churches with hundreds of thousands of people in the church, you really bringing out the scripture. In that congregation, there will be a few people that will be either Esau or profane like Esau, which means you start hearing people scream against what the pastor is saying. They wouldn't even be able to hold it in.
But everybody loving what the pastor's saying there because it's a bunch of folly and madness. Exactly. That's because since I came from the church, 26 years of my life, 25 years of my life I spent in the church. My dad was the pastor from, so we grew up in there.
I grew up in it too.
I used to play drums and all that. And it get even more wicked the more you feel like your rank, your what you call go up, your rank. You know what I mean?
Church, the more wickedness.
Right. So it says in what's that? I think it's 1 John.
You keep telling me, okay, wait a minute. You drunk the water.
We better let it go.
This is John 6:63. It is the spirit that quickeneth. That's why your spirit is being quickened right now. The flesh profiteth nothing. All the things that we done, all the things our oppressors taught us, we have to depart from them. It says the words that I speak unto you, the words, the understanding. The scripture speaks about understanding all up and through the scriptures, okay? So when you can have this understanding, when you have the spirit of Yahweh, not the spirit of a so-called white man, it says these words I speak unto you are spirit and they are life. Okay? So, and it says, but there are some that believe not, for Yahweh knew them from the beginning, who they were that believe not, and who should betray him. Okay? It's going to be people that betray him. It wasn't only talking about Judas, it's even talking about Israelites who pierced him. Israelites who pierced him, but Israelites who hated him. They hate him. They sent a witness after him saying, we will not have this man to reign over. And with that, we're going to say shalom. We're going to let the people. We're going to sow peace right now. They at odds with us right now. I'm sorry.
The little brother came up first, though, man.
Man, they're going to be happy. I got 4 kids, so I got 4 babies, so 4 little